everybody. You are about to listen to our very first live show.
Ooh. First and only.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Recorded at XENITE Retreat. And special bonus is that if you're a patron, there is also video of this, so you can see us make fools of ourselves. And you can see Alti, our special skeletal friend.
Alti.
So yeah, go to patreon.com/Xena Warrior Podcast.
Yep. And check that out.
Yeah, to see our gorgeous faces.
And my busted fingers.
I mean, we know Alti looked her best. So.
She looked best of all.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where you can find that video. And otherwise, enjoy this live show. Woo! Woo! Hello and welcome to Xena Warrior Podcast. My name is Vera and I'm joined as always by my two very nervous co-hosts, Katie and Livy.
Hi.
Woo! We also have a special guest here, our lovely skeleton friend, Alti, or Amarice, apparently. I don't know. And we are doing our first live show.
And our last.
Probably.
At XENITE Retreat. Woo! First live show, first XENITE Retreat for us. Yeah. And it's been incredible.
So amazing.
Thank you for welcoming us, guys. This is, oh my God.
Yay! So a funny thing happened when we first arrived to LA. Well, we came a few days before retreat, and we had a interesting celebrity encounter. I mean, you go LA, celebrities, no big deal, but I think this one was something special.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Sorry.
Oh, right, yeah. So it was Katie and myself, Vera, and our two awesome friends of the podcast, Amanda and Sarah B.
So they can confirm.
Yeah, they can confirm this really happened. We were at this like really insane LA deli for lunch. What is it called?
Yusta.
Yeah, it's like super confusing on the inside. And we couldn't figure out how to order.
We really could not.
Yeah, so people went and sat and waiting for their food after they figured it out, but I clocked somebody, a face, and I was like, that's somebody I know, but who is it? And, you know, I ordered the food, sat down, trying to come up with it, couldn't come up with it. Then I ran out of Caltaka, so I had to go back in, and there was this person ordering at the front part, like the counter, that's the word, the thing where you get your food at.
Well done.
And I'm staring at this guy, and I did the thing where I walk by and then, like, walk back. And he noticed, and that was weird. When I was returning with my Caltaka, I go, oh, it's this person. I can explain, right? I know this guy from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. You said it's Galadriel's husband.
Right. And I was like, oh, man, I can't explain that to the people at my table because Livy's not here. She's my Lord of the Rings friend. She would get it. And I was like, oh, well, he was in this movie with Jessica Chastain that I love. Well, they won't know that either.
It's called The Debt. It's confusing.
Yeah. And then as I sit down and try to explain this, I go, oh, my God.
Her whole face
just changes because I just hear in my head, Xena. It's fucking Amarice ordering at this counter. Out of all the people we could have seen, the one celebrity we saw.
Just wandering around LA. Yeah.
I mean, welcome to XENITE Retreat. Right? That was like the proper welcome.
We think he's a good omen, but he might be a bad omen.
Well, I don't know.
It's possible.
Who knows? Well,
we can definitely confirm.
Yeah.
Like, we have two witnesses. They're right over there.
True story, bro. Cool. Well, speaking of Sarah B created a brand new problematic jar for us.
Yeah, we didn't want to bring the ridge in case it broke.
Glorious and shall be put on all the socials. Sorry, Bariah's jar. It's being retired.
Yeah.
Now that we've seen him
new
live,
jar now.
it can go. The jar can leave.
Yeah.
Cool. So we will be using that today.
Wait, did you just say problematic?
Oh man.
So did I.
Oh no. There we go.
All right.
Cool. So our episode today is Them Bones, Them Bones.
Them bones, them bones.
Technically, it was supposed to be Animal Attraction, but you guys really dodged that bullet.
Xena's little bitches, welcome to the doghouse. We are the doghouse.
All right, so let's get into this because you know what? The other thing is that we are now used to talking for 2 hours.
Yeah,
and
for anybody who listens, you'll be familiar with that. We can get into quite excruciating details.
Quite.
Mostly about Luke's.
Yeah, I mean, we have some here, but unfortunately, we only have like an hour for this. So we're going to be kind of speeding along at a speed that we're not used to.
No.
So let's get into it. Whoa! 505, Them Bones, Them Bones, written by Buddy Williers and directed by John Fawcett. Now, who the fook is Buddy Williers? That's a new name.
That is a new name. And it's a unique name in Xena in that he doesn't exist. Nobody wrote this episode. It wrote itself.
Oh my god.
Wow. It's magic.
It's magic. Magically delicious.
Buddy Williers is a pseudonym for Stephen Sears. How do you guys imagine Buddy Williers looks like?
Probably like Steve Sears without a hat.
Without a hat, for sure. That's Buddy.
And we'll apologize later.
John Fawcett, the director, also just did Fallen Angel, pretty good episode, and The Way.
Yeah.
And Ginger Snaps, one of our fave movies, so represent.
Yeah. John is quickly becoming one of the better directors here.
He's giving TJ a run for his money.
He sure is, especially with this episode.
He's trying to do TJ, but more.
But more. And then we have some new names as producers.
They're not producers here. They have a very fake-sounding credit, creative consultant, which I feel like is something I would put on my CV to just kind of beef it up a little. Creative consultant.
So Kurtzman and Orsi have now become creative consultants.
This is their first episode.
Right. So these guys will soon be showrunners of Xena.
And we understand just from reading the internet that people tend to have a bone to pick with
them
Kurtzman
bone, them
and
bone?
Orsi. I get the sense that people weren't entirely happy with their run of episodes, and they've kind of gone on in Hollywood to do other things that people aren't entirely happy with them for. So,
Whoa.
Oh my god, Alti.
Yeah. It's also not happy.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, we recognize their names from some stuff. If you go through IMDb, you'll see they did, the first season of Fringe?
Yeah. The worst season of Fringe.
Star Trek Into Darkness.
The Mummy, most recently.
Yeah, just go through IMDb and you'll see a list of their mediocrity, basically.
So we'll talk about them some more.
I'll be a Kurtzman and Orsi apologist for a second. They're 26 years old when they're running Xena, which is like, what was I doing when I was 26?
I don't know, what were you doing? Watching Star Wars?
Watching Star Wars, that's right.
And crying. I don't give them any passes, so there you go. All right, so Them Bones, plot summary. Alti's back to steal the soul of Xena's baby. She's gonna gobble it up like,
Bon appetit.
oh no. Okay, and the theme summary of the episode is that Xena comes to terms with her pregnancy.
That sounds good.
Yeah?
For me, the plot summary is just like Gabrielle hates mushrooms. That was my big takeaway. She hates them.
And the theme summary?
She hates mushrooms. I like it.
Okay, so now let's get into some of the important things about this episode. So let's talk about the Luke of the episode before we talk about the Lukes of the people.
Okay, so the Luke of the episode, it's obviously very closely connected to Adventures in the Sin Trade, because we're going back to the land of the northern Amazon.
My fave.
It's cool up here.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively. Very cool.
They have some nice coats, yeah. Yakut's back in this one.
But no Terry.
Right.
Did you miss her?
Yeah? I don't know. It was set up kind of like I was shipping them.
I was shipping them.
Yeah.
I think Yakut is so weird this episode. Like,
So weird.
it's like so shady that I was like, is she possessed by Alti? Is there some like cut subplot where she was going to turn around and spin the imaginary mustache and be like, haha, I am really the spirit of Alti. But then that never happened. And I was like, what? There's a part where just like she like opens her tunic and Alti's skull falls out, kind of apropos of nothing, and you're like, have you been carrying that around this whole time?
Well, I mean, this whole episode is basically the fault of Yakut, who wanted to get Alti's powers by taking her skull.
Or something. Oh yeah, so here's my headcanon, is that whatever that ritual was, it was to bring Oteri back to her. There's like a sad subplot. That's why she's so messed up this episode. Oteri's gone.
Okay, I like this. But that is not what we got in this episode at all. All right, we got some crazy skeleton fights instead. So I want to talk about Lucy's outfit in this one, because you mentioned that it's cold in northern Amazon land. And that's a perfect opportunity to hide a pregnant lady if you're trying to hide that pregnancy.
I think this is the most successful they ever got with the maternity wear. Like, I forgot she was pregnant in the episode that's like about her pregnancy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I loved when she starts having the dream in the beginning, like the crazy pregnancy horror dream, and they bring her into the healer's little hut, and she's literally ripping at her stupid-ass outfit, being like, get it off me, get it off me.
You're not a fan of the blue one.
No, I hate the blue one. And I was like, yeah, get it off her, get rid of that thing. God.
We like that dream sequence.
We do, yeah.
That's some fun stuff. That's very Aliens.
Yeah.
Can you one in the jar for some pregnancy horror?
Oh yeah,
One in the jar for the pregnancy horror.
We, as you may remember from our episode about Gabrielle's Hope, really went to town with the history of pregnancy horror and why those tropes are sort of annoying. And you know, if you weren't bothered by them the first time look, you get them all again.
Yay!
But I do think it's actually a thematically really good way to start, because it is about kind of her coming to grips with it, and by the end you get a very nice scene, so it's good to start this way, I think.
Start intense, finish
Start
nice.
intense, finish nice.
Hurt, comfort, would you say?
Oh no, my thing, I feel called out.
But they immediately kind of like put you in the frame of the episode where you have a little skeleton baby come out of Xena's belly.
You're like, hi, Mommy.
And so you're, I guess, ready for the skeletons at the end. Oh no.
I guess, yeah, you gotta set those skeletons up, otherwise people will be too surprised.
I think they might, yeah. Okay, so this has a lot of crazy like camera stuff, right? You said this was a new kind of like TJ situation that we got going here?
As you may remember from Sintre, that episode was very avant-garde in its filmmaking. Like lots of like woozy camera work. At one time it does like a total 360 through a cave and you're like, whoa, TJ, stop the train, I want to get up.
No,
I want to get on, give me some of the mushrooms.
This is the perfect description, right? Like, because for me, all of the B-roll and all of the stuff in when you're like transitioning to different spiritual planes or whatever with the Northern Amazons, like it's exactly like, do you remember the sequence in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when they go through the tunnel and it's terrifying? It reminds me of all that footage, but also mixed with like some like experimental 70s like Stan Brakhage deep cut film nerd reference, but like it's definitely like Wonka tunnel to me. I love it.
Well, yeah, John Fawcett really goes to town. I feel like he takes everything that TJ did and then just does like 1,000 more things.
Yeah.
So you have like crazy camera stuff. Like he shoots on like 16 millimeter and he does this crazy thing called cross-processing where he shoots on slide film and then develops it in the regular chemical solution you would use for negative film. And it just looks insane. You get these like crazy streaks and like neon green and purple colors. Everybody looks kind of blue sometimes. It's just like this very unpredictable effect, which I think is really perfect for this episode, which is just kind of off the wall in every sense.
He really was inspired by TJ and then decided to one-up him, I think. Do you think he succeeded?
I think he succeeded. I think there are moments where you're kind of like, okay, like we get it, it's crazy here. I admit that I am not the biggest fan of the body cam, which is where
dare you?
I love the body
this
cam.
episode.
You want to explain the body cam?
The body cam is sometimes called the snorri cam, which I think is such a funny name for this thing because it's like the least sleepy kind of shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You strap a camera usually to someone's chest. So when they're moving, like they're steady in the shot, but the background is just swinging crazily. So you see that here when both Gabrielle and Xena are going into their trances. And I just don't like it. I think it's overused now. I think as cameras have gotten lighter and lighter, people are like, let's strap the camera to the actor. That's so cool. And then you're like, no. Everybody does it and it kind of has the same emotional effect, which is it just makes you feel weird.
Like that's good for this.
That's perfect for this. And I mean, we have to say, like, this camera is really closely associated with Darren Aronofsky. He did it in Pi. He did it in Requiem. Everybody's like, oh yeah, the Darren shot. Well, guess what? Xena did it first.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we're talking about shaman stuff.
I would say, and I don't know, you guys may disagree, but like this episode, like, you know, starts off and you're like, okay, this is cool, going back to the Northern Amazons, and then suddenly Gabrielle's like, Xena, I'm gonna go face Alti for you, and you just like sit up in your seat. You're like, this episode just got great. Oh my God, I need to see Shamaness Gabs. I feel like it's just such a cool plot twist because Syntrade was all about Xena using shamanism to like recapture Gabs' soul. So it's so nice to see Gabs put in that position for her. Like, that really moves me.
But Gabs is there to literally recapture the soul of Xena's baby because this is our introduction to Dadriel. Dadriel is here.
This is such an important, like, not only, I keep holding the mic.
You're doing good.
It's just such an important step, like, in her journey as a character. Not only is she, like, learning this new stuff, but also, yeah, it's like Xena in this episode says that she's not strong enough to do whatever. So Gabrielle's like, I'm going to do this for you.
And she says, I love your baby like it was my own.
I know.
I mean,
I have a lit, don't worry.
Okay, good. I won't even step into your territory. Forget I even knew that line.
But yeah, in many ways, like you said that the theme of the episode was Xena coming to terms with her pregnancy is also about Gabrielle stepping up and being like, you know, this is my baby too.
Dadriel.
So yeah, let's talk about this sequence where Gabrielle goes and meets Alti, because it's my fave.
It is the best sequence of the entire episode. Katie, agree?
Oh, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't I agree?
Just checking.
Did you know there's TV CPR in here?
Oh, is there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's actually been a really long time since we had TV CPR. You would think with the amount of times these women die that there would be TV CPR, like 3 times a season at least.
No, you can't. If you did that much, it wouldn't be special anymore.
No, it would always be special.
I guess. Okay.
So Gabrielle has to go and do the ritual. What is the official name?
The ritual of crossing over.
Ritual of crossing over. And Xena's like, I guess I'm going to have to teach you to be a shamaness earlier than I thought.
That's interesting that was on the agenda.
Apparently at some point.
I'm just curious, like, what the checklist is. Like, because, like, where was teach Gabrielle how to be a shamaness on the list?
After test day.
After test day.
Yeah.
But
like,
before pinch.
Yeah, before pinch.
Well, before everything is before that, but that one would have been really useful anyway. Well, continue.
So we have these beautiful shots of Gabrielle doing kind of like the stuff that we had seen Xena do in Syntrade, which is stalk a deer.
Can I say,
a stag.
I love her Luke. This is my favorite Luke in this episode, is the, like, oh yeah, it's a problematic Luke. Needless to say, these are all problematic Lukes. We talked a bit about this in Syntrade, that obviously they're using some shamanism probably from Siberia, though in true Xena style, they don't really specify what it is, what culture exactly they're sampling from, but we're aware that it's happening, and you know, there's baggage, but she looks so good in that leather fringe.
Blood all over her face.
I even like the earlier look where she just has these soft dabs of like dirt, just like carefully applied dirt.
Yeah.
It's very good.
My favorite part is when, so she's stalking the stag, and we have these beautiful slow-mo shots of her with Xena's voiceover, and she's pulling back on the old bow and arrow like we do in archery here at Retreat. Woo!
Really hard.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult.
And then there's a really great detail on her fingernails of like all around her fingernails, like it looks like it's really dirty. So I was like, oh my god, that's so great. And it looks kind of like what everyone's fingernails look like after painting blue at Retreat. But I came to realize that it's because, you know, they shoot her then later putting her hands in the fake blood to like cover herself up with. But anyway, it's so beautiful. She does the dancing, she does all of it. And then they do the extra slices, you know, the old blood smoothie that you gotta drink.
They're blood sisters who kiss.
Ah, I love it. So we're talking about Gabrielle, we're talking about the Northern Amazons, we're talking about...
Let's talk about her fighting Alti, my favorite part.
Yes, exactly.
Dream world.
I want to talk about Alti, who herself has a new look, right?
Alti's new Luke.
So she's like all in black now. I don't know. I don't think it was her colors before, but I think this new costume designer is really interested in some black leather.
And some boobs.
Always.
She's very interested in boobs.
So one of the things that I think has come out of this episode is that they have it's not leather, it's like these beads, like their hats have bangs.
Hat bangs.
Hat bangs. All of them have it. And if you Google Stevie Wonder 80s, you get basically that.
Okay.
And you can wear it for Halloween, and that's very problematic, so boom.
My favorite part of the hat bangs is during TV CPR, everybody's getting really upset, and the hat bangs are just so frantically like, like
Don't look at that. Just look at their faces.
yeah, just look at the faces, don't look at the hat bangs.
All they're going to do is look at the hat bangs now, and you know it.
This is why this is one of my lesser TV CPRs, because they're so encumbered by antlers and hats and hair bangs, hat bangs. Yeah.
And it's
still great.
It's very just up close. You're right.
I'm having a good time with this microphone.
Sorry about that. So one more thing about Alti, right? I noticed that, since her outfit is brand new, she has this new hat, and on the hat there's this like big shell. Did you guys notice the shell?
Yeah, it's a cowrie shell, right? Maybe it's not.
Right,
I don't know.
it's just a big old vulva on her forehead. Yeah, I thought that was a little odd.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's very Alti.
Sure, it means something.
Sure, in this episode where she's trying to impregnate Xena with her soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
We'll work it into the thesis paper.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I have so many questions about Alti, like her motives for this episode. Like it's very confusing, because first it's, I want to be Xena's baby.
Aspiring.
Yeah,
A lot of people want to be that, though.
That's
Yeah,
true.
this is the season where everyone fights to basically impregnate Xena
Yeah,
with
and
their own
Alti's sort
soul.
of like being a millennial, because she calls Xena mom. I was like, that's nice.
She calls her mommy.
But then, later she decided she would rather be inside Xena in another way. At least that's the implication. And I was like, woman, make up your mind. Baby or lover, baby or lover. You have so many emotional problems.
Paging Dr. Freud.
Paging Dr. Freud.
So let's talk about the sequence that was so good.
Yeah.
Gabrielle.
She's in the spiritual realm.
Right, where the most powerful thing is your mind. Yes? Well, the first thing you notice, right, is that if you have a fire, man, that fire is just gonna kind of like stop moving.
This is really effective in this sequence.
It is legitimately good.
It's really cool, really arty, like the fire freezes, like splashing water freezes, the bird freezes.
Yeah, I was wondering if the splashing water had something to do with the Dreamworker rock metaphor, right? But I'm sure it didn't.
Let's say it does. Deep.
More for the thesis.
But yeah, I thought in an episode that's like almost wall-to-wall visual effects, I mean, maybe not quite Fallen Angel level, but this episode is hugely technically complex. It took them 9 days to shoot, which is, a lot.
Yeah, it's
compared
over.
to Is There a Doctor in the House, which took 4.
Right.
So this is a biggie for them, technically. And I think actually this effect is definitely one of the most successful. Like, I just find it really freaky.
Yeah.
And I love that even though this episode is full of exposition about the dream world and how reality is whatever your mind does, or, you know, if all the Amazons stand in a circle, like you can convince Alti she's in a dream world. I don't really get anything that's going on in terms of the spiritual mechanics.
I don't know if it matters.
But I like that in this sequence they don't explain anything. And you're just like, what? That bird stopped moving. What? What's going on?
Well, it's just because it's Alti's power.
Yeah. She loves to freeze birds. It's just her thing. But my favorite is when she just pulls Gabrielle's soul out of her body and just like holds it off the ground. I think that's what happened there.
Yeah, it was. So Gabrielle goes, it's kind of like Inception. So she goes into the dream, and then the dream goes deeper. And so you have the inner Gabrielle is now also being attacked by Alti. And they do a really cool job of kind of like mirroring other Gabrielle, like real Gabrielle, experiencing everything. So if she's picked up by Alti, the other one kind of like hangs in the air.
And we should say that this is a real feat of editing, that whole sequence, because you basically have 3 different planes of action. You have Alti with Gabrielle, who's in the air with no knife being cut. She has just her fist. I keep trying to gesture with this.
Your wounds.
Retreat did this.
Retreat did a leap of faith, and she hurt her little fingies.
So you have the 3 different planes of action. Gabrielle in the air, and then Gabrielle's body further away. Well, not Gabrielle's spiritual body further away with the knife, so she can't use the knife against Alti. And then you have Gabrielle passed out in the real world with her trance. So you're cutting between action on all 3 of these different Gabrielles, and you can always kind of figure out where you are in that.
Yeah.
And the favorite part is when the knife hits home, and you get the slash again across Gabrielle's throat. Like,
she has that for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Wound continuity. If you listen to the podcast, you know we're a big fan of wound continuity.
So Gabrielle had one job in this whole thing, and that is to stab Alti with this knife. And she big time fails.
Yeah.
Sad. Hashtag sad.
Hashtag sad.
But then again, you got TV CPR, and you got Xena in this, like, we talk about Gabrielle's patented soft voice all the time. Why do we never talk about Xena's soft voice?
I don't know, we should.
It's so good here. She does this just like, I gotcha. Never do that again. I was like, she's gonna do that again, don't worry.
Probably will. No, but like just the whole sequence leading up to Gabrielle being dead is just wonderful because you have Alti.
Yeah, you have a great countdown.
Oh my god, I feel like this is like, it turns into Sesame Street for a second, and then it's like the counting activity in which Alti counts to 10. Yeah. It also teaches you about what happens when there's no oxygen going to your brain.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Okay, wait, I have it written down.
Oh, good.
I took a moment.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sharp pains in your arms as your blood pressure lowers. I'm talking so much I forgot to count to 5, so she doesn't actually say 5.
She skips 5 for some reason.
6. Your brain is screaming. 7, 8, 9. One more count and you will be dead. 10.
And then she is dead. Well, it's the middle of an episode at the beginning of the 5th season, so everybody's really worried.
But the crane shot, that means her soul is rising again.
It's just like the Ron Howard classic, Far and Away. Tom Cruise, Pokemon. We can talk about it
Did
later.
Xena do it first? No.
Xena did it second. Uh-oh.
No, but then you get the aforementioned TV CPR. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Everything is patented Xena soft voice. And wonderful. And she did get useful information.
She did get some useful information.
It wasn't all a fail.
All right, so everybody's basically trying to prevent Xena from doing this thing, right? So then Yakut, despite being told not to do this, goes and does the same thing.
She's just really fucked up over
I mean, she really did fuck up this whole thing. And, like, honestly, she could have warned Xena as soon as she got there.
If she just said something to begin with.
Yeah, we wouldn't have this episode.
No.
We wouldn't be talking about it right now. Oh, no. But yeah, Yakut goes in and does the thing, gets caught, of course. So Xena's like, fuck, I have to do this myself. So now Xena is in the realm.
I call this the purple place because it's really purple for some reason. Just because purple, purple is cool.
Visuals. It looks like, if you've been to Animal Kingdom, it looks like Pandora in Florida, like from Avatar. It's legit. Look it up.
So that's Alti's dream world is Avatar. She's so evil.
Remember, Avatar, directed by JC, John Cameron.
John
James Cameron.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Libation.
Take care. Yeah. Think.
My favorite little detail from this particular set is you'll notice that all the flames are burning green. That's not color correction. They actually got green burning candles. I think that's so cool. So again, a nice practical effect, which, makes the whole thing come together.
I thought the coloring choice went all the way back to kind of season 1 Hades.
I thought of that.
House and Tartarus.
We referred to that, I think, as kind of a Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
and this is definitely a bit Beetlejuicy. And you know what? Alti's voice is very Michael Keaton.
Oh no, Alti. All right, so while Xena's doing this, Gabrielle and Amarice, we haven't really talked about her, but she's here.
Oh, it's so funny because this episode starts with this really cute conversation with Xena and Gabs and motherhood, and you look beautiful, you're glowing on mushrooms. And then
pregnant slug.
Then the whole alien scary sequence happens, and like at the end of that, Amarice just runs in like, oh yeah, I'm in this episode too, and you're like, where have you been? She just appears.
She goes, oh, this traitor told me that he saw you go into this hut.
Yeah.
And that's how she comes into
what
this
a great
episode.
explanation.
So she tags along.
Yeah, she tags along. She's there kind of like to be told all the things that happened in Sin Trade when she wasn't in that episode. So
I actually
for the audience
really love all the faces she makes as people stand around going like, there are many different planes of reality. There's a spiritual realm where Alti is trapped and you have to pour this amber on her bones to trap them forever. And Amarice is just standing there like,
She's good value face-wise.
Yeah.
Like audience surrogate face-wise, yeah. Because that's us too. We're just like, okay.
I loved when the Amazon dances were happening, and she was just like, "Oh my God, I'm at this party and I don't have a shot. What's happening?"
is that foreshadowing that she doesn't
it is.
She's like, Amazon dances, I don't know how to do
yeah,
that.
she's no longer being like, in my tribe, we did the dance different. Yeah.
Right. So let's dive in. Let's dive in. What do we think about this?
This reveal is so strange to me. I don't want to say I don't like it, because in some ways it's interesting, the idea that Amarice is like this wannabe Amazon who has somehow talked her way into a tribe. Like, it kind of leaves me with a lot of questions. Like, is she actually like an amazing con artist who like convinced those Amazons that she was an Amazon?
Like, I would read the fic about con artist Amarice, but like, I'm not sure that it makes sense with like what we saw so far.
No.
And then also, this is her last episode.
Yeah, so you're kind of, they drop this bomb about her identity and then you never see her again, and it's very confusing.
I guess
Kurtzman and Arcee!
Yeah, this is so classic season 5.
Until it gets great again.
Yes, very, very much so, because RJ's back. Yay. I guess for me, Amarice, she wants to be an Amazon so bad. Like, if she goes up to the Amazons, hey, can I join you guys? I'm sure they would let her. Like,
I imagine that's how they do.
But then she would be an Amazon.
Gabrielle was like queen in like 15 minutes.
But she did some stuff.
I mean,
Amarice just walked into the
But
party.
it's like, I don't know, they seem pretty open.
That's what I mean. I think the membership is open, Girl has a shot. But alas, no. So she goes off to do Cleopatra 2525. And
Bye, Amarice.
Bye, Amarice. Sad. But not yet, because right now she's doing this plot with Gabrielle where while Xena's in the dream state with Alti, they have to go get this amber from the amber tree. Is that a real thing?
Yeah. It
amber
comes
grows in
out and
trees?
it's like that ooze from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it's like, yeah, that's how amber works.
So they have to encounter Chia. You may know her from Chia. Chia, yeah.
Maybe
Chia.
people were chanting that on Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe that was just me.
But don't confuse it with Shia. That's different. Shia. Different. So Chia is a real person? She's a protector of the Amazons. She definitely shows up in this cave, and she can tell if you're lying about stuff. And that's how we find out that Amarice is not a true Amazon.
But Gabrielle is.
Gabrielle for sure is, yes. So Gabrielle is the one who collects all the
I
amber.
love this moment. I love that Gabrielle gets this moment of being like, you're the real deal.
Because she stepped, this is huge. For the thesis paper later, a lot going on in this episode, I think, about, like, identity. Like, just in terms of, like, what Gabrielle is and what, you know, her warrior journey, this little bit about Amarice, Xena, and being a warrior and a mother.
Yeah.
Thesis paper.
One of my favorite lines in the episode is what Gabrielle says to Amarice after she's admitted that she's a con artist who talked her way into being an Amazon or something. She says, "Amarice, for many years I walked in Xena's shadow. I wanted to be her. She taught me something. It's warmer standing in the sun." Aww. I like that. I thought it tied back to that beautiful moment in One Against an Army where they say that they want to be each other.
Go on.
Yeah. And yeah, it's nice to hear her in an episode where she is actually taking on the role of Xena in many ways. She's being that warrior, she's being a shamaness. Like, for her to actually say, yes, I may appear more and more to be like Xena, but actually I've gotten over that.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually a part of her maturity. And it's, in a way, it's ironic because in saying that, she's actually becoming even more like Xena. She doesn't want to be Xena anymore, just like Xena.
Wow, that's so good.
Okay, so they get the amber.
All right.
But
now we have our climax.
Yeah.
Really.
They come back and they're like, hey, we have the amber, yay! And
It's your time to shine, buddy.
Sweet Alti, what have you got to say to us? We're with Xena now. And she goes,
Such a pleasure to see you again, Xena. Or should I call you Mommy? I want her to just be like, you're gonna have to change my diapers, Xena.
oh my God.
You're gonna have to send me to college. You'll be so bankrupt.
them loans, them loans. Oh no. So yeah, we have quite a scene here between Xena and Alti that lasts quite a long time. And you know, it's such a fascinating shift from the legitimately great moment that was Gabrielle doing the ritual,
Right.
facing Alti in this terrifying, legitimately dramatic way. And now you have Xena taking off her face to be a skull while wearing a coat still.
Well, that's my favorite moment in the episode, I think, is that, like, she takes her face off, but then the skeleton is still wearing her coat. And then to later on, like, it's like a legitimate 2 minutes later, I feel like.
Yeah,
Then
it takes a while. You have a lot of, like, serious dialogue from just the skull face
With the coat on.
And then she unzips her entire body, not just the coat. It's just like the whole thing unzips and falls off.
Yeah, it's good content.
Yeah.
I like it.
I just don't get the mechanics of it. Because, like, how do skeletons fight? Like, they don't have muscles, they don't have tendons.
They're both skeletons.
Why is this better? Why is this better to, like, Xena should have just stayed as a flesh human because then Alti couldn't have hooked her scythe into her eye socket and swung her back and forth.
So, Xena, the real human, didn't want to be in this part of the episode. So she was replaced by a skeleton.
It's clever.
It is actually really clever. This is one of, I would say, the cleverest ways they were able to do a fight scene without inconveniencing pregnant Lucy Lawless.
Yeah.
And
Not in the soup yet.
Not yet. Not yet in the soup. Put a pin in that. So we have some iconic lines, which is the "I always wanted to be inside you, Xena."
I know that fandom loves this line. I understand why fandom loves this line. But it was interesting rewatching it for this show because, like, I got to that part and I was scared. I was like, that's not funny. That's actually a really upsetting moment where she reaches into Xena's body and pulls out, like, her baby's soul. And Xena is, like, making these horrible wheezing noises. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, God, I think I prefer Welcome to the Doghouse, the iconic Alti line. That one's funny.
It's true, it's true. Well, they do battle, right? So would you like to describe some of that? It lasts forever.
It goes on because they're really proud of these visual effects. They're cutting edge.
I mean, I like them. I mean, this is old school. This is like Harryhausen. This is classic.
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. You already had the Evil Dead shot earlier. Always good value from Ren Picks. Like, I love it. I have my Ash notebook down here, so you won't get a complaint from me.
I do like obviously, like, the flipping. Seeing the
Oh my
skeletons doing
god,
the flips
yes,
is
and
fun.
the like war cry
Yeah.
skeleton. No, I mean no.
We haven't talked about the ridiculousness of the little soul baby, like,
Yeah.
just floating
Tell the
around.
difference.
For a while, I literally couldn't tell the difference between which skeleton is which.
One of them is like dirtier, and it's Alti.
Yeah, but you have to like look closely for that, and I prefer not to look at this part at all.
Okay.
So,
Vera, I gotta know, how does this compare to fighting on top of heads?
fighting on top of head's still the worst because that is Lucy Lawless' face, not skeleton
You
face.
can ask us about her controversial opinions later. Right? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so they fight a lot, and Alti has the soul baby like,
It's like
in her,
hanging
just
out,
hanging
she
out.
just eats it.
Oh, it's like right here in this area.
But I don't know, does that seem better protected? Like ribcage is open.
Yeah, I mean,
Again, some tendons and muscle. Like, if you can animate the skeleton through your dark magic, why can't you regrow some muscles?
again,
You don't
they
need
don't.
skin,
you,
I
see,
guess.
you preferred like a muscle.
Yeah, I would like the anatomical drawings to fight.
Okay, like that traveling series, Bodies. You want that kind
That's
of stuff?
terrifying. So yes.
Okay, I think that required more special effects that they just didn't have in the 90s yet.
No.
So there. Well, I hated this part, but then it was over.
But you know what? I love the reveal when you realize that this is a fake reality created by the Amazons, because there's such a good soundtrack cue.
Yeah, oh god.
This is my favorite music when they just go, oh, Xena.
Yeah.
It's so
And I'm like,
epic.
I know, Xena!
Encore, encore.
And when that kicks in, you cut to all the Amazons standing in their circle using the powers of their minds to do whatever it is happening in this episode.
I mean, it was pretty great.
It's
because
actually really moving.
It really is. Xena reveals to Alti that it was because Alti previously said it's all about the mind. So like the strongest mind wins, and of course Xena has the stronger mind. So Xena made Alti think that she was like in her reality, and then it's like, surprise, bitch, you're in mine.
Welcome
To
to
the.
Xena in what sounds like an impression of Alti, which
Oh, is that not classy for her to?
no, I
to
mean
do that?
we do Alti impressions all the time, and we're really classy.
Sure. So Alti is tricked, and then she is killed. Now the skeleton is killed, and they pour like amber on it in the real world.
Trap her soul.
To trap her soul. I thought this was like one of the most violent parts of this episode, which is really crazy because it's like an animated skeleton.
What?
But if you don't look at it like how I don't look at it, what you hear is like Alti screaming like really intensely, and it's really legitimately scary.
Yeah, she wails.
Yeah, I felt bad. I was like, oh, I miss you, bitch.
She's fun. She could have
She
been
really
in the
is
show
fun.
more.
Yeah.
She's another villain where you feel like they killed her, and then they were like, well, we can bring her back, and then kill her again. And bring her back, and actually, we're bored of this. Bye.
Yeah. Not quite thought through. And then our final kind of like moment once Xena reawakens is a continuation of our theme. Xena accepting her pregnancy and becoming a mother.
I have to point out before we talk about that, when Xena actually awakens, she and Gabs have this sweet little moment where Gabs is like, you did it, and Xena's like, we did it.
Aww.
And there's this wonderful, very kind of old school Hollywood two-shot of their two faces, like in profile looking at each other, and it is absolutely the kiss shot. They do not kiss, but like, that's the kiss shot.
Oh, maybe one little CPR thrown in
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Just one little CPR?
There was like so much blood and stuff.
There was, yeah. It's good.
Yeah. I like a realistic makeup. Yeah. It's good.
Dove.
Dove.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
reached the end
she
of
sees
the
a dove.
episode.
She's like, woo, I thank you, Mom, says Dove. Eve has a little cameo being like, hi, Mom.
Do you want to?
Just you wait till the end of season 5, it's going to get good again.
Do you want to explain briefly what the dove represented?
No. We have 10 minutes left, and we'd love to hear your question.
Okay.
But it was a very nice story.
It was a very nice story.
It's just the baby
It's just a dove.
accepting and saying
Yeah,
thanks.
it's really nice.
Oh, and we should point out that what's so cool about having this dove moment at the end is Solon which
Isn't that cool, guys?
so cool. Solon's cool. No, I mean, he's never mentioned in the course of this episode where Xena says, I'm really worried, my baby's already suffering. But you can tell that that's the subtext. The subtext is she's been through a lot of shit, and being pregnant again brings up a lot of those old wounds. So
and just kind of worried about if she can be a warrior and a mother at the same time, and at the end accepts that she can. Maybe we'll find out. I don't know.
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah. Okay, just real quick, I just want to make sure you guys did a great job. I have written here on the back of this all of the cute parts, but very fast, just to make sure that we have all of our bases covered. At the beginning, Gabrielle told Xena she looked beautiful. We have the maybe I'm happy because I don't have to go through this alone. Really nice exchange.
I like that, but again, I was like, Barias, he was there last time.
Was he there?
Just making sure. Okay, so when Xena woke up from her scary dream, she calls out for Gabrielle, and there's a very nice little arm touch.
Arm
Very
touch.
nice, very nice, very nice. Oh, the whole.
Oh, this one.
The whole CPR thing, we covered that really good. We covered Gadriel really good. Yeah, I'm getting there. Right before Gabrielle does the ritual of crossing over, we neglected to mention her line where she says, "Xena, don't let go of me." And Xena says, "Never."
It's a good one. Never
So
let
good.
go. Never let go, Jack.
So good.
Rose.
Yeah.
Rose.
Whichever.
she lets go.
Okay, good. All right. I think
We
that
got it
covers
covered?
it, and somebody will let me know if I forgot something.
Okay.
Okay,
Man, we have like 5
we
minutes.
would love, if you guys have questions, comments, feelings about TV CPR, we would love to hear from you. This is your moment.
Or we cannot.
Or
It's
we
fine.
could not.
We can also wrap up.
If you're nervous.
Totally fine.
So that's fine. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you to everyone for coming here. Oh, did you have a question?
Yeah.
Do the Alti.
Any special requests? What should Alti say?
Do all the thank yous in Alti voice.
Thank you. No, that's just weird.
Alti doing Alanis. Did everybody see your shirt? Alanis is with us too.
We wanted Alanis to be represented.
Yeah.
I think we have a question in the house as well.
Oh, hey guys.
Hi.
What have you guys enjoyed so much about XENITE Retreat since being here? What did you expect, and was it what you expected?
I don't know if I can put into words what it has been like to be here.
It's true.
And we were told stories, so I had some idea. Like, I knew where I was coming because I looked up, the summer camp website, and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. It's outside, somewhere I never go. That's cool.
For a reason, you guys. We don't go outside for a reason.
Because we're watching Xena all the time.
Yeah.
But no, it's just been amazing. It's just I've done a whole bunch of things that I never thought I would do. Everybody here has been so welcoming of us. It's just
Absolutely,
incredible.
yeah.
Podcasting is a very lonely activity.
Yeah.
It's just the three of us sitting in a room being we've seen stats, we know people listen, but it's kind of it could be Buddy Williers, it could be imaginary. We don't know that these are real people. So it's so amazing to come here and just hear from you guys and out with you. Yeah, we're really happy. I think next time we sit down in that little room, it won't be so abstract anymore.
Yeah, I want to say to anybody listening who has not gone to retreat and was thinking about it but passed, you guys have to get here because it's just such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you can experience every year. So it's XENITE Retreat! But seriously, thank you guys for coming, for showing up, for listening. Thank you to all our patrons in the audience or in any audience.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to Alti the skeleton for sitting next to me and not touching me.
Sarah for a brand new problematic jar.
Sarah for the brand new problematic jar.
Everybody should come take a look at it. 'Cause it's
Yeah, it
amazing.
is really beautiful.
It's got a lot of great podcasty jokes on there of all of the stuff we really have maybe disliked.
Yeah. All the
Over
problems.
All the problems.
Personal problems.
It's so wonderful.
It's my spine has pride of place,
Pride of
which
place.
makes me very happy, except I hate seeing that line. I don't know if I can sit there every day looking at that.
Fine.
It's all right. So, Yeah, I mean, do we do our normal
Yeah,
sign up?
Yeah, do
I
it.
think so.
Katie, that's
Sign up.
you.
Do the honors.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're on the internet. If you ever make it this far in the episode, you already know all this. That's okay. Where our website is www.xenawarepodcast.com. Please go to Apple Podcasts and rate and leave reviews. They're really helpful, not only for people finding the podcast, but also just like it's kind of one of the many ways that we can hear from you and like gives us kind of encouragement to like keep rambling about Xena for hours in our apartment. We are on Twitter at Xena Warrior Pod, Facebook and Tumblr and Instagram, Xena Warrior Podcast. Please hit up your social media of choice and like everybody can talk to each other and argue and like, I don't know, make fun of whatever we said. It's all good. I think that's it.
Yeah.
If you guys want to join in for this.
Yeah. All right. The power, the passion, the podcast!